This video comes with a little trigger warning for eating disorders. If you currently or in the past have struggled with an eating disorder, I will be talking in this video about calories, restrictive dieting, intuitive eating, and fear foods. So if that's something that could be triggering to you, then please just skip it. So this is a little bit of a different video for me. So a little backstory. I am currently on a weight loss journey, or I'm trying or wanting to lose weight. When I was a teenager, I was extremely thin, extremely underweight. I had an eating disorder, anorexia kind of thing. It was never like officially diagnosed, but that's kind of what it was. And I was really just restricting my calories a lot and eating very little and was very thin as a result. Then in 2018, I decided to get serious about gaining weight. I had already by that point, I had mentally recovered from the eating disorder for a while, but I was still eating very little because that's just what my body was used to at that point. So in 2018, I started to deliberately eat a massive calorie surplus to try to gain some weight, which at the time was helpful, but also really difficult. So I successfully gained the weight that I had wanted to gain, but then I got used to my new calorie intake habits and I gained more and more and more weight. At this point, I am 20 kilograms heavier than I was at the beginning of 2018, which isn't the worst, but I am starting to approach kind of overweight territory. Now, don't get me wrong. I do not want to lose weight because I hate my body or because I think I'm ugly or whatever. I actually love my curves. If I knew that my body would stay exactly the way it is now forever, I would be totally fine with that. However, my mom has recently been diagnosed with lipedema, which is a disorder in the way that your body stores fat, and I have a very similar body type to my mom, and it's suspected that I might have lipedema as well. And the thing with lipedema is that any fat that you gain on your lower body is very, very difficult or even impossible to lose unless you get liposuction. So I know that later in my life, I might have children and that might cause me to gain some weight, and I might go through menopause and other hormonal changes, and those might cause me to gain weight. And so I just figure that the thinner that I start out, the easier things are going to be for me later in life. So that's why over the past few months, I have been dieting on and off and constantly trying to lose weight, losing some weight, quitting the diet because it gets too hard, gaining the weight back, gaining more weight, and it's just turning into a vicious cycle. I kind of had my last straw last week when I again tried to stick to 1,400 calories per day to lose half a kilo per week. And what ended up happening was that, I would just eat salad and vegetables and boiled eggs and soup for the entire day. And then I would get to dinner time and just completely lose control and just eat all of the candy in the house, drink juice, drink chocolate milk, and just completely lose it. And I started realizing that the diet approach just is not working for me. It's creating a really unhealthy body image and a really unhealthy relationship with food, and it's making me overeat in circumstances where I probably normally wouldn't if I didn't spend the whole day starving myself. So yesterday I sat down and I wrote down some of my fear foods, some of the foods that I have told myself in my head that I shouldn't eat them because they're too calorically dense or they're going to make me gain weight or whatever. And today I went to the supermarket and I bought some of those fear foods. I have bought a bunch of juice because liquid calories are bad. And I have bought sugary cereal, and I have bought chocolate, and I bought these sponge cake things that I really like, but at some point was unpleasantly surprised at how calorically dense they are. And I bought some peanut M&Ms, which I've already started. Some other things on my list of fear foods that I didn't get today are avocados, because I love avocados and I was seeing all these health and fitness influencers eating avocados, but then I realized, oh no, actually avocados have a lot of calories in them, so I better stop eating those. And another thing on the list was nuts, and I also bought tiramisu. I forgot. It's in the fridge. So the reason why I bought these fear foods is because I want to go back to a intuitive eating approach. The idea with intuitive eating is really the goal is to completely stop labeling any food as being good food or bad food, healthy food or unhealthy food. Stop thinking of food as being, somehow tied to your morality or your value as a person or your self-control, and really just eat what you want, when you want, in the quantities that you want. And here's the reason why I think this will actually work for me. And I might even lose, more weight by letting myself have chocolate and fruit juice and sugary cereal than I would by trying to avoid those foods. Is because, so as an example, let's say that you're really craving spaghetti. You want to eat spaghetti, but you tell yourself, no, but spaghetti has a lot of calories. There's carbs, I shouldn't eat that. So then instead you have a bowl of soup. But after you eat the soup, you're not really feeling satisfied because you wanted spaghetti. And so you're like, okay, the soup didn't fully satisfy my cravings, or it didn't make me feel full, so I guess I'll also have a salad. And then you eat the salad, and then you're still not feeling satisfied because that's still not what you wanted. And then you're like, okay, maybe I'll just have a slice of bread to get some carbs in me. And like, you go through this whole process, and by the time you're done, you've probably ended up eating more calories than you would have if you just had the spaghetti in the first place, because you're trying to go on this hunt for feeling satiated, for feeling full and, happy with what you've eaten. And you're never going to get that feeling if you don't let yourself have the foods that you actually want to eat. And there's something psychological about a food being forbidden. It immediately makes it seem you can't, like, if I tell you not to think of a purple elephant, that's the only thing you're gonna think about is a purple elephant. And that's the same with dieting and with forbidden foods. When you tell yourself, oh no, I can't have chocolate, I can't have ice cream, I can't have whatever, you're constantly thinking about those things. And every time that I've tried to stick to a super strict calorie goal and to like spend my whole day only eating low calorie foods, I can do it up until the end of the day, and I spend the whole day being cranky and hungry and angry. And then, as soon as it's like close to bedtime, everyone else has gone to sleep, and I'm awake in the kitchen just like scarfing down enormous amounts of sugary food. So that's all to say, I don't want to do it anymore. I do not want to do this dieting shit anymore. And so I'm going to take, let's say, about a month, and I will track my calories, but I'm not, because I want to like document it, I guess, and get a feel for how much I eat when I just let myself eat. But I'm not going to be sticking to any kind of calorie goal, and I'm just going to completely detach myself from the numbers, record the numbers, but not like pay any attention to them, just to kind of get a feel for where my baseline is when I am not throwing myself unnecessarily into this really harmful and toxic binging and restricting cycle. I'm starting off at 73 kilograms. I'm filming this on the 28th of September, and I will give you guys an update when I feel ready. If you've also been struggling with dieting and body image and all of this stuff, then feel free to join me and let's just see how it goes together.